why am I doing stock management or inventory management or warehousing, logistics? Why am I in this area? There's a few reasons. And a lot of it comes to how I think the future will be. And so, we can try and look at the recent history during COVID to kind of showcase how my thought process is and where I think we'll be in the near future. So, COVID, interesting time for everyone. Everyone's online watching TikTok, Instagram Reels. That was like the advent of short form content. That's kind of when it started peaking, and everyone was playing video games inside, thinking of stuff to do. And while individuals were doing that, governments were trying to make sure that there wasn't, economic societal collapse by providing everyone money, kind of like how Australia did in 2008 to compensate for the GFC. So, pretty good for us people. We're getting some money, especially if you're on JobSeeker. You're getting a grand for, just existing, which is fantastic. Obviously, that came to bite us, a bit later on, which we all knew, because, if you spend more money, it's going to increase inflation. But that was a future problem. Now we're in the future. Anyway, back to e-commerce. So a lot of people online and a lot of people started to discover drop shipping, especially during this hustle. This was like the emergence of like Andrew Tate, that kind of masculinity hustlers university. People are trying to really, build their portfolio more economically. Everyone's trying to make money really. And so since everyone had all this spare money, Mr. Beast was doing some cracker Shopify ads as well. So e-commerce really spiked during that period. And that was really the advent of the drop shipping phrase, the frenzy, that's the word I'm looking for. Not a great word, but yeah. So now we're in present day. Kind of things have dialed back down a bit, especially due to the increase of inflation. People have spent less. However, humanity in general, we just love convenience. And so when we're buying stuff, we're not going to shops anymore. We're not going to restaurants anymore. We're delivering over, going there physically. And that's been a trend for a while now. And COVID really showcased that, it is possible. It's not great and people will always visit it, but it is possible for online purchases and online to be the main source of income for businesses. So, people love Amazon. And why do they love Amazon? Because it's almost free delivery if you got Amazon Prime, but very cheap delivery, and it gets you as quick as possible, same day, 1 to 2 day delivery in some places. And so how are small businesses going to compete with a company that sells everything and can deliver it to you much quicker than everyone else as well? And so you can't make planes go faster. You can, but then you got the laws of physics to deal with. You can't you can't make things cheaper than Amazon to the point where you're making 0% margin, because then you're not making any money. So the only way to compete is to hold stock and to increasingly hold stock over time, because that way you can make your delivery times as quick as possible. So if companies are going to hold more inventory, they're going to need better ways of managing it. And even now today, you see a disparity between these small companies who often do these stock warehousing processes manually to these big existing warehouse management systems. Except, small companies are struggling to transition to these systems because why would they? It's too expensive. It's too big for them. So that's kind of where we are at now, is we're building a product dedicated to small companies to ensure that they can utilize their stock effectively through the system and make sure they're not left behind and they can compete. Because at the end of the day, I think we're going to see a decrease in dropshipping, and we're going to see an increase in people holding their stock, or at least in some sort of way, people will try to minimize their delivery times in a way to compete with Amazon. The only products that may not need to do this are these handmade luxury items where, you know, it's inelastic, the demand, whether you can get it in a week or in 5 weeks, because the product is so high quality that, you know, people will wait. But that's only a certain percentage of products, and even then they would always want to increase their efficiencies by making sure they have the right materials and making sure they have the right sort of shipping processes to make sure that they're maximizing their sales, because if, you know, they're still losing customers if they can't sell it to everyone. But yeah, that's why I'm betting on stock and not the stock market. I mean, it's a good time to invest now. I mean, this is not financial advice, but, you know, normally, yeah.